Another question I'm often asked is, what training do I need to be an IT contractor? Well, I think the question that really ought to be asked is, what training do I need to be a successful IT contractor? Because many people will get one contract. The skill is to get contract after contract and to improve your circumstances through better rates and to be able to establish yourself in the marketplace so that you have an up-to-date, relevant set of skills rather than a legacy set of skills. So I would summarise these probably quite simply as, firstly, understand how to establish your brand, your personal brand, and write an effective CV to communicate that brand. Secondly, you need to be able to market that brand, and you need to know how to go about that. And you'll need some good training in marketing yourself, both personally as an individual and also through the right tools to actually physically market your CV. Thirdly, you need to actually have some very effective telephone skills. You're going to be talking to people. You're going to be selling yourself on the phone. People are going to be ringing you. You're going to be ringing them. And you have to be convincing. You have to be enthusiastic. And you have to be able to communicate your skills, your USP, really that you are a winner. People are only going to be interested in taking on winners, and that has to convey effectively over the phone. Fourthly, your core competencies. At Byte, we keep coming back to this. You have to recognise the core competencies that are relevant to the roles that you want to really do, and you need to actually develop those. You don't start with a set of competencies and stand still with them. You need to grow and develop them, and they will help enhance your employability. Fifth, you need to have really strong interview skills. If you're in a permanent job, you'll probably nowadays in the IT market work for 2 to 3 years and then move on, which means you may only have 2 or 3 interviews every 2 to 3 years. As a contractor, you may well have 9 or 10 interviews. You may typically work in a 3-month contract and have that contract renewed 1.5 times, working 7 or 8 months. But inevitably it will come to an end and you have to find another contract. Each time you look for another contract, you may have a couple of interviews, or you may have 4 or 5 interviews. But if you add that up over a decade, it's an awful lot of interviews, and you don't want to fail. So you've got to cultivate that skill. Finally, you need to be an effective networker. Effective networkers get interviews. And if you are good at interviewing, the whole thing will net together quite effectively, and you'll enjoy the challenge of going out there and getting your next role each time rather than dreading it. You'll be a contractor that actually works 42 to 46 weeks a year and is very rarely on the bench. So I guess they're my first really 6 points to being successful as a contractor, and therefore the skills you really need. I hope that helps.